Good morning, guys, and happy Monday. I just wanted to do a little video today talking about running your business like a business and why that's important and how to do it. So, a lot of us got into Plexus for product discounts. And so, what happens to some people is they come along, they try the product, they love it, they become an ambassador. So, you can share those products with your friends and family and etc. And some of us come into the business for business reasons because we want to make some extra income, we want to quit our jobs, we have savings that we want to accomplish, or whatever it might be. But one of the things that is really standing out to me right now is that people are coming into the business for product and they get started, they love the product, they start sharing the product. Well, before you know it, you've shared the product, you have customers, now you have a couple of ambassadors, and you're going along and you are still treating your business like you're a product user. You're sharing your products and you're gaining new customers, but you're not treating your business like a business necessarily. And so what I wanted to talk about was, why is it important to run your business like a business? Before you sponsor someone, you should make the decision that you do want to have your own business, because it is a lot of work. If you are looking at our compensation plan and the opportunity that Plexus gives us, which is amazing, and would like to have a 6-figure income or quit your full-time job, you should know that it does require a lot of work and a lot of effort. So running your business like a business means that when you sign a new ambassador, you need to be, number one, training them right away. Now, we have a lot of tools and training, and each leader on this team has some of their own input as to how they would like that done, but we've laid out basically a 10-step process for you to follow to help you create duplication. And so when you sign an ambassador, you need to be training them on that 10-step process and helping them learn how to duplicate so that they become a leader themselves. This is important because otherwise you have a lot of ambassadors out there that aren't sure what to do. They don't know what direction to go in. They really want to, grow their business, but they don't know where to start. So make sure that when you sign an ambassador, you're prepared to teach and train them, and you really should be mentoring them for at least their first 30 days. That means you should be calling them 2 or 3 times a week, touching base, helping them create their list, helping them get to silver, helping them get some new customers, maybe doing a launch party for them if that's what they want to do. Sorry, I have a little list here so I don't forget. And I feel like it's really important to have a level ones page, because if we all have a level ones page and we are teaching and training our level ones, then they can go and teach and train their level ones. And this should be a continuous process so people don't get left out. There are some people who, did sign up to get product and then signed an ambassador with no intention of really growing a team. And then that person is out there not trained and they do want to grow a team and they don't know how. So as leaders, we really need to make sure that we're aware of who's signing people, and if they are signing them, do they want to actually grow a business? Is it a good decision for them to go ahead and sign people when they're not prepared to train and guide them? It is part of the policies and procedures that you agree to, not only train your downline, but be there for them to encourage them and offer support. So let's make sure that we're all doing that with our ambassadors. And you might want to consider, running contests for your level ones or team contests. It's not necessary, but sometimes it's fun. It keeps them excited and moving forward. And keeping in touch by phone. So that's something that I feel like gets missed a lot with our texting and Facebook messaging, and it's really easy to just shoot off a message and say, hey, how are things going? Having said that, it's also really easy for that person to message you back and be like, oh, it's fine, things are fine, or send you a text message saying, I don't really need anything, I've got everything under control. And in reality, they might be struggling with something, and you're never going to know that unless you pick up the phone and call them, and you can kind of hear it in their voice. Like, how are things going? If they say, oh, it's fine, you can kind of tell them, so you can tell in the tone of their voice if it is fine. And it's a lot easier for you to ask questions and dig a little bit to find out where they're struggling so that you can help get them back on track. Instead of, you Facebook message them, they say it's fine, you Facebook message them again, and they say they don't need anything, and pretty soon a month goes by or 6 weeks goes by and they're frustrated, and all of a sudden you've lost them. Someone who could have been a great ambassador maybe for you, it just gets frustrated and drops off of your team because they don't have any guidance. And even though you've offered it via message or text, it's not personal, and so they tend to ignore it or just not express, the struggles that they're having or maybe the issues that they're dealing with. So let's please be reaching out to at least your level ones by phone, or if someone on your team that's not a level one reaches out to you 2 or 3 times, send them a message or give them a call and say, hey, do you need a little bit of training? Is there some guidance? I mean, maybe you have a gap somewhere along the line where someone isn't training and they've signed, and you can help get them back on track. So that's really important. And that's going to lead me to my next topic as far as treating your business like a business, and that is analyzing your team. One thing that's really, really helped me, and I know Tanya does it a lot too, and I'm sure there's a few other leaders out there in our group that also analyze their teams, but the reports in the back office can be really useful to you as your team is growing. When you have 4 or 5 people on your team, it's pretty easy to see like who's making sales, who's struggling, who's signing ambassadors, who's not. But as your team gets bigger and bigger, and you want to avoid problems, you want to avoid like your whole team, big sections of your team or whatever, struggling to sign ambassadors or struggling to make sales. And one way to kind of catch that before it goes too far is to be analyzing your team. So looking at some of the things that I look at are each month I watch for everyone's PV overall. So I get the average PV. We look at if that's increased for the next month. If it hasn't, then you want to go back and see why it's not increasing. Maybe we need to run a contest for PV to help people get their sales back up. We also look at, we do our projections for what percent growth did we have last month as far as new ambassadors, what percent growth do we have this month, or what are we projecting to have, so that we can see if there's, a struggle to sign ambassadors. You can look at your individual legs that way. So you might look at, each one of your level ones and their teams to see if they're having troubles like increasing their PV, or if they're not signing many people or whatever. So you can get with them and work on that for that specific, maybe it's just that specific team. Maybe you've got one team that's struggling for sales and one team that's struggling to sign people, or you see some gaps in training or whatever, and you can address that if you're, really watching it day to day or month to month. I mean, I look at my sign-ons probably twice a week. So I'll do my percentage of what we've got going on, and then, maybe later in the week I'll look at another percentage to do my projection for that month to see, are we on track from where we were last month? Or if I have a goal that I want to meet, I want to look at that and see if I'm, headed in the right direction or the wrong direction. People qualifying, people turning off, and you can look through your reports and kind of sort those out to see where the problems are, so you don't ignore those situations. You want to try to confront them right away, just like a regular business. I mean, if you were in business and you were selling lawn care, let's say you were cutting grass, and you notice that, you're not adding as many accounts this month, or so many of your accounts shut off this month, so they stopped using your services. You want to go back and find out, why are they not using your services? What's happening? So this is no different than any other business in that matter, is that you should be looking at your team and analyzing and seeing where the struggles are, or what's going wrong, so that you don't end up with like a mass shut off, or you end up at a point where you're not signing anybody, or something like that. It's just a way to look ahead and be aware of where everyone's at, and make sure that you're moving forward so that you can personally address your team in ways that will be helpful. You know, if you're constantly putting out contests for people to sign and really everyone's signing okay, but they're really having an issue making sales, then you're going to know how to gear your training. You want to train towards making sales. You want to put a contest maybe out there for that or whatever. It's just going to help you build strength in your team, making sure that you analyze, you know, what's going on from a business perspective instead of always looking at, you know, the nice side of it, because Plexus does have so many great nice sides of the business as far as being able to help other people and getting healthier and the products, and it's a great environment for friends and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, if you are trying to increase your income to a six-figure income, we do have to look back and realize that it is a business and no one gets a six-figure income without putting in tons of effort. And that means that, you know, I've been seeing questions asked on team pages that go unanswered. I see people asking for three-ways and no one's responding on occasions. I've talked to some people who are maybe 4 or 5 levels down from me that haven't been trained but want to go diamond, things like that. So really there's some gaps in there, and I think that as leaders we all need to take responsibility for that and start looking at our teams so that we can improve and people don't get left behind. Let me think. That's all I really need to say for today. But if anyone has any questions, or if you're not sure how to analyze your team or when you should start doing that, please get with me or get with Tanya. Either one of us can explain to you how to do it. And I guess that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, give us a call. Otherwise, have a great Monday. Thanks. Bye.